today we have Meghan Alfonso here, and she's the owner of Girl About Town, as you can see in the background. And she's also an Arizona native, which is my favorite thing because I'm also a native, and we all love to talk about that.
Yes, I think you have to tell people when you have been born and raised and your family's here.
And for some reason, when you're a native, if you guys are one, people always come up to you and say, I've never met one. I've never met one. It's like, everyone I know is native.
I know.
You've never met one. We're all here. So how many years has your family been out here?
So I am 5th generation and I have a 3-year-old. So now he's 6th generation. So it was before the state was even a state, like 1873 or something like that.
So Mexico.
Yeah,
correct.
exactly.
That is so wild.
I know. So yeah, we've been here forever. So.
And then what side of town did you grow up on?
Well, I grew up in Scottsdale. So kind of east, I guess, north Scottsdale. I went to Desert Mountain High School. So yeah.
And then did you do any higher education? Were you an ASU girly or
I went to the other school. So I am a Wildcat.
That's great.
Yes, it was super fun. It was good for me to get out of the valley, kind of meet new people, and then I had to come back though. So.
Yeah, Tucson's fun. So what did you get your degree in?
It's crazy. I actually got it in family studies and human development. It was random. I switched majors so many times. I could not figure out what I wanted to do. But at the time, my parents were actually going through a divorce, and the lessons and what I was learning about was kind of helping me cope through it. And I was like, maybe I could take this further. But I went to a job and worked for a PR company. And I was like, well, this is fun. And then I kind of jumped around with retail and, not sure what I wanted to do. And I landed actually at St. Joseph's Hospital and their foundation, and then moved to Phoenix Children's Hospital Foundation. And I loved their mission and really enjoyed helping these children with raising money for them. And I loved it.
How long did you work for them?
I worked for them for about 2 years. And I really just enjoyed watching these events happen and being a part of them. And then I also was so interested in how these families kind of became patients and what they were going through and learning their story. And the one thing that was always stood out was, they are at the hospital for so long and then they go home and they have a notice of eviction on their door. And they didn't know where to turn. And so I actually started another business before Girl About Town, and it's my nonprofit. So,
and what's that one called?
That one is called the Pierce Family Foundation.
And I actually just heard a little bit about the Pierce Family Foundation, and it's the sweetest idea. So basically what they do is when a family has a child that has cancer, you know how it would take over your whole life. You'd have to drop everything to be there for them because you love them, of course, but the bills still keep coming. So her foundation found ways to raise money to help pay bills. And that is got to be one of the sweetest things I've heard. I mean, that is just lovely.
Thank you.
Now you have a child too, just one?
Yeah, I am a bonus mom to 2 girls, but yes, nice. I am a full-time mom to my 3-year-old little boy.
A 3-year-old. Oh my gosh, yes. You really are. I can't believe you can do all of this and have a 3-year-old too.
Well, I know it's definitely a balancing act, but yes, he's my everything. And my husband and I had to go through IVF to get him, and it's a whole nother process and probably story to tell. But yeah, he's my miracle little baby, and so it makes it all worth it.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so transitioning from St. Joe's and then the Phoenix Children's, how did you get to this spot?
So I started, so I left Phoenix Children's, no plan, no job. I mean, I just literally left one day. I don't know, it was something that I just was ready to move on. And I then went to my family and was like, let's start a nonprofit. And so I started my nonprofit in 2013. And that was fully my, full-time job and raising money, putting on events. And then in 2018, well, mind you, I always was the one that would get called if hey, my parents are coming to town. Where should we go to dinner? Where should my family and I stay for a long weekend? Or what's the best florist in the valley? And I'm like, God, I swear I get these all the time. I'm just going to make a blog or a list, and maybe people can purchase it because I'm giving this away for free. And so that was kind of the idea of Girl About Town. But then, of course, we started getting asked to put on parties and host baby showers and graduations. And then I started thinking of how can we help incoming travelers? they don't know this valley like I do, and they really could use the guidance of. Oh no, is that okay?
Okay, I love it. No, that's okay.
No, it's okay. This is my dad. Little break.
Yeah, you're good.
This is Misha.
Hi, Misha. You're the sweetest. It's okay. When I was interviewing Robin, her dog came up and was hanging out with us.
Oh my
too,
gosh,
so.
really? Yeah, she's very interested. But
that's really nice.
okay, so I was like, I'm going to start reaching out to these travelers and like helping them come, when they come to town and telling them where to go or what to do. Mm-hmm. And then I had a girl ask me to set up a margarita bar, and she wanted to mail me all of her decorations and like pool floats, and I could go into her Airbnb before she arrived and set it up. And I'm like, this was in like 2018, like Airbnbs weren't as popular, entering them without, I know, I was like, are you sure? But we did, and it just like the idea just kept rolling. And we started hashtagging Scottsdale before the veil, and that's how people were finding us. And we didn't pay for any advertising. Instagram was our sole like avenue, as well as Pinterest, of how groups would find us, and it just exploded.
So it was initially called.
It's always been Girl About Town.
Okay.
And I just was like, well, because a friend of mine, her husband was like, gosh, Megan, you just always know what's going on. You're the girl about town. Like, you just, know what to do around, Scottsdale. And then I was like, that's kind of a cute name. And then MAC Lipstick has an actual lipstick called Girl About Town. And I had it in my purse, and it was just like, that's it. It has to be it. That has to be, we call it GAT for short, but.
That's wild,
right?
Like really meant to be.
I know. I'm just like, this is crazy.
Also, it's like I think it's really inspiring for younger girls too when they watch something like this. You can have a job that you like that is fun. I mean, you don't have to go into a job that's not fun. And I hate the idea of us being told as kids, you can do anything you want to do, and us just completely disregarding that because
I know. I agree. And I feel like I have never worked as hard as I have since owning either of my companies. Like I work 24/7 sometimes, like 7 days a week, like I'm always on call, but I also know that the clients or the families we're helping like appreciate that, and they can count on us. So it doesn't seem as much work as like, maybe it sounds.
And checking in with somebody's a lot harder than checking in with yourself.
Exactly.
So that's the little bit of the difference. So mostly, do you do other parties also, or is it mostly bachelorette?
Gosh, for about 2.5 years, it was solely bachelorettes. Like, of course, some bachelor parties and birthdays would slip in, because we really would decorate the Airbnb for whatever celebration. And like, so yes, we would do any, but now this last year or so, we've really transitioned into proposal planning. So if anybody needs help, popping the question, we kind of take over as their event coordinator. We help them find the venue. We bring the flowers, the candles, everything that goes into it that some people just don't realize, we assist with. And we probably have we started in 2023 offering it, and I think we've probably done almost 150 proposals.
I would just cry every time. I feel like I would be like so sad.
I know. I go sometimes to help, especially if it's, a client I work directly with, and it's just like the most like heartwarming moment and like event to be a part of.
It's like one of the human experiences that you really just like.
Yeah, you're just like, this is just the beginning of their life, and so that has been a game changer for the business though, because bachelorettes are very seasonal. They'll come to town mostly when it's nice in Scottsdale, and it shifts every year as to like when that kind of will be. And then, but proposals happen year round. Like we did one on Halloween last year.
Oh, how fun.
I know, because that's when they met. And so he's like, this is a special day. And I'm like, you're right. I mean, and we thought we'd maybe only do like around the holidays, but I mean, every weekend we have at least 1 to 2.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Well, and also to hire somebody that knows what they're doing, you won't forget all of that stuff. It's not bachelors. I think bachelorettes are more attention to the detail.
Yes.
They just don't want to do it. That's where you come in.
Exactly. We're the convenience,
But the proposal, you need guys out there. You need the help. So just take it.
I know. And we want to make it like you just show up. We're in a group chat with you, like the guy always changed it to like golf chat or something. So like nobody knows. But yeah, and then we're there on property to make sure everything gets, done. Everything's perfect and looks good. And then we clean it all up so you can go enjoy dinner or go finish your photos. And so it's really just a convenience as well.
Amazing. I forgot about the cleanup part. Like, there's a whole other side of that. That's really cool. So, bachelorette party wise, Any wild
I know you were gonna
themes
ask me
that
that.
you had?
Oh,
Or is everyone
God.
pretty tame?
No, we'll get groups that are very like wild, you know, and like, so we allow them to send us decorations like leading up to their event so they don't have to bring it on the plane, you know, and we'll put it in the house for them. So yes, I've opened very interesting packages with all types of shapes and sizes or
and
games.
shapes.
Yeah, all sorts of wild things. Gosh, I mean, like today we're doing one which I think is cute, bikinis and martinis. You know, we do a lot of like denim and diamonds. Everyone loves Final Fiesta. I just, yeah, the girls can
still.
yeah, yeah. I mean, we have a neon light, I swear, for any situation you might need. But yeah, we've really elevated all of our events. We have marquee letters now. Everything is rented from us, so everything stays up the whole weekend. It doesn't touch the Airbnb walls or the hotels, so that the guest never gets fined, you know, for our services.
So do you work mostly with the same hotels and Airbnbs mostly because you know that they're
We definitely do. We have like a whole like database of Airbnbs that I'm sure everyone has like, you know, seen on Instagram. The very themed ones are obviously the most important or the most popular ones that the girls like to stay at because they have glam rooms or it's, you know, all pink throughout and they have a mural on the back wall. But yeah, those houses recommend us all the time because they know we'll come in, we'll be respectful, clean up, and then or put everything up and then we come back and clean it up. So it's great. We've been able to make these relationships. And then the hotels, yes, for proposals as well as setups. We do the W, Sanctuary, Royal Palms, Mount Shadows, like Camelback Inn. We just did a huge photo shoot on Monday and they're actually going to push us to all of their clients and we're going to be on their website. I mean,
oh my gosh, that's amazing.
I know.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Awesome.
It's sort of a pinch me moment because, you know, I mean, that hotel is so iconic and I mean, celebrities have stayed there and now they want us to like be their go-to, you know, and get chills. Like,
yeah, that just gave me chills. I'm like, I'm so proud of you. Oh my gosh, I just met you. Okay, with that being said, you don't have to name any names, but have you ever worked with celebrities?
Yeah, we have. We've worked with we did a bachelorette for a girl. It wasn't hers, obviously. Rachel Kirkconnell. She won the Bachelor with that. Yeah. And so we did her friend's bachelorette. And you know, she was the nicest, most appreciative, like influencer celeb I've ever worked with. She, you know, delivered everything she promised. And, you know, because of course we gave her a deal, but we actually got like a good amount of stuff in return too. So it was very like worth it. We've done some like baseball players proposals. We just did a football player's proposal, and I don't know them all, but I'll tell my husband. He's like, "Oh yeah, that's you." But we try. Yeah, we treat everyone the same though, and everyone, you know, even if it is a large influencer, we still require some sort of payment, just you know, because I am a small business. So.
No, that's just running a business.
Exactly,
that's not personal.
Yes.
So, any nightmare stories?
Oh God.
I'm sure you probably get the, you know, they went a little too hard with the partying or, you know, those kind of things.
I know. I mean, I'm trying to think. And it's like one thing that I would fight with clients about all the time, which now we just charge like way more if it does pop. So it's pool floats. And pool floats like weren't as popular at these Airbnbs when I first started. And so houses didn't have them, you know, just already. So they'd rent these floats from us and like, what we do is they rent them, we blow them up and we leave a pump, you know, typically. But then we go back and like one time this group is like, Megan, I don't know, the float just wasn't working and it wouldn't hold the air. And I look and the swan's wing is off. Like it's just a hole. And I'm like, what did you do to her?
No, it wasn't working. There was no seal.
I know. I'm like, it's just absorbing water and sinking. But so pool floats were my most like, I would just argue with clients. They're like, it was like that. And so now we just charge a lot more for it. And I'm like, whatever, you know, if they pop it, we just throw it away and we don't have to deal with it. But that probably, I don't know. We've had groups get confused and they'll call me at like 10 at night trying to figure out where to go, you know, for like in Old Town. And I'm like, call this guy for Bottle Blonde I don't know.
So you have to have a good relationship with all the bars too. I forget about that.
Yeah.
What are some things that they like to do that kind of stand out that, I mean, being from the Valley, we know all the cool, like touristy things, but is there anything that you feel like when people are coming from out of town, they are really impressed by.
Yes, I definitely always recommend Rancher Hat Bar.
Oh,
They
yeah.
are the custom cowgirl hats. They also have trucker hats, so you can do like patches. It's such a fun experience. The woman that owns it, Chantel, she's opened a bunch of locations all over the country, but the whole energy in the shop, everyone is so friendly, and you're leaving with like a beautiful cowgirl hat or trucker hat that you'll have forever.
So Arizona.
Yes. And so I always think that's really fun to do. I also really love Arizona Party Bike. He started his business, and it's the pedal bikes that go around or Old Town. It's just a fun, energetic like thing to do. I think it really kicks off the weekend well for the groups. And then we also like to tell them to do like in-home yoga with the Balanced Bachelorette. The owner of that company, Bailey, and I have been friends and have watched each other grow. And I think that, you know, you can like sweat off some of the alcohol from the night before, and you get a really good Zen, you know, start to your day. And so that's one of my favorites.
And a girls trip, it's always nice to have a good start to the day because you just never know when all the personalities are together.
Yes,
so.
I know. That's for sure. You definitely, when I go on events or would go on bachelorettes, you'd walk in and sometimes the energy was just like so high and they were all so excited. And then there's the groups that like, it's the college friends, the high school, the work, and they don't even know how to like interact with each other. But
that's good. That's where you come in to make
exactly, and we're
really
like
comfortable, you know.
Let's surround a shots, or you know, why don't we take a picture? Yeah, but it definitely like it's fun to watch them, you know, become besties.
Do you also offer like packages with hair and makeup and glam?
Yeah, so we do have some great contacts with that. We work with the Sparkle Bar. They will do even like camera ready, where you can like go to their shop in Old Town and just get little touch-ups. We also have a great relationship with Dry Bar. And then of course we have women that can come into the house, and we even have a woman that does facials too at the house. Not so basic batch. She will come in and do facials and like little massages. And I mean, and that's another great way to like, you know, just have a day of maybe chilling at the pool and you don't have to, you know, leave.
Yeah.